Hi, welcome to Get a Clue, Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game and or a list of games. Today we're going to do a combination of both because today we're going to look at 5 card games, casual level card games that I believe are just underloved. They are underrated, maybe even. Some say they're loved, but you almost never hear about them. Like I said, there's 5 card games plus a surprise game at the very end that you might never have even heard of before. And I'm going to just leave it at that. But I am going to try and do the CLUE for each game. C is for components. What are you going to find when you open this box? L is for length. How long does this game take to play? U is for uniqueness. Does this game remind me of some other game? And E is for ease. How easy is it to learn, teach, play? How easy is it to find? And how easy is it on your pocketbook? And that's what we're going to do today. So, I kind of decide. I actually have an underrated games list, and I will do a video of those on a different day. But I realized that there were 5 of these card games that I liked. I didn't want to count them as with the games. I mean, there is 1 or 2 other card games in the big list. I think I might actually have hiccups. Anyway, but these 5 are just pure card games, and I really think that you just don't hear about them as often as many of the big games, all these kind of games and everything you hear about all the time. So I thought I want to make sure that you know about them and a little bit about them so that you can decide for yourself if it's something that would interest you. Now, I do have a list on here, and then I have information on other sheets, so I'm going to be going back and forth on them. But let's begin with the first. Well, the first one is number 5. We're going to go 5 to 1, and then the surprise secret one. Number 5 is one that has been around for I think 16 years. Came out in 2007, and has had different re-implementations, different themes. I was looking at pictures on Board Game Geek, and we're going, no, that's not the drawings I have. That's not the artwork I have. Oh, there's the artwork I have. Oh, those aren't. That's different. Oh, that's very different. Not even the same theme. The theme that is current right now, as far as I know, at least here it is the Alice in Wonderland theme of Parade. The Z-Man Parade. Yes, it's been around since 2007. This version, this theme, this re-implementation is newer. I think it's only been out for like 2 or 3 years maybe. But it is a 16-year-old game, which shows that, and it has been re-implemented several times, which shows that it's got some staying power, and yet you don't always hear about it. Let me give you a little bit of this CLUE about Parade. First of all, I want to go with C, components. I want to say this one time. I might mention it again, but all of these games, all 5 on the initial list, are card games. You open the box and there are cards and there are instructions. There might be a scoring pad, which there is in Parade. There might be some other item in there that's really not necessary, but it's in there just to add a little pizzazz to the game. But basically, the components in all of these is just cards. Okay, so the C for them all is cards. L, length of play. Well, for this game, the manufacturer says about 45 minutes. And yeah. Now, if you know the game and everyone knows the game really well and you've played it several times and everything, you could probably get it down to 30 minutes. But let's be safe and say 45 minutes. Parade is, okay, so that's length of play. Uniqueness. Well, we'll find that almost all of these games have two magic mechanisms in them: hand management and set collection. And that's what this one's all about: hand management and set collection. When it comes to, so uniqueness, it's hand management, set collection. There are so many games in the regular world, let alone in the hobby world, that are set collection. Set collection, what's a set collection? If you ever played poker, you've collected sets. If you've ever played Phase 10, you've collected sets. If you've ever played Rummy, you have collected sets. It's like you collect sets. We know what that means. And hand management is managing the cards in your hand so that you can collect sets. Okay? So when it comes to uniqueness, almost all of these games are that, but this one in particular is hand management and set collection are the main items. Now, for ease of play, what I'm going to tell you is just a little bit about how the game is played. First of all, they're all in the casual level. They're all on the light or medium light at the most. Most of them are just light games. Parade is kind of like golf. You want the lowest score. If you've ever played No Thanks, you want the lowest score. There's a lot of games that you want the lowest score. Well, Parade is one of those. And the way it works is when it's your turn, you are going to do one thing. You're going to lay down a card at the end of the line of Parade cards. In this, of course, in this theme, it's all Alice in Wonderland characters. So, you know, it's colors and numbers are really the main differentiation. When you lay down a card, you want to lay down a card where you will have to pick up as few cards in that parade as possible. Basically, if you play down a card that is purple and there are other purple cards in front of you in the parade, they get upset that you have joined the parade, so they leave the parade and you are stuck with them. Also, whatever number is on your card, if there's a number equal or less than, doesn't matter the color, in that parade, you are also stuck with them as well. So you want to be careful as to when you play what card, because one card could mean that you are stuck with 7 cards, and another card could mean that you only have to get 1. So that's the hand management set collection. It's a very simple game, so easy to learn, teach, play. Easy on the pocketbook. Well, I looked it up, and let me pull it up here. I'm flipping pages. Do not, I repeat, do not buy it from Amazon right now. I looked it up, and somebody's trying to sell it for $35. This, for $35. No. I think retail is $20. So, no. But I did go and check GameNerds.com, and that's GAMENERDZ for Z, for those who say that alphabet, .com. Game Nerds has it in stock for $16. Miniature Market did not have it in stock, so don't worry about it. But Game Nerds has it for $16, so that's how easy is it to find and how easy is it on your pocketbook. It's not hard to find, but I would not buy the $35 one. No, go for the $16 one. It's very affordable at $16. Even at $20, still quite affordable, and it's a fun game. Weird artwork. That's number 5 of underrated card games. Number 4. Number 4 is, I'll take off the elastic. Okay. Is called Q-Birds. Q-Birds is a game I swear, Picasso during his Cubist period would love these birds, because all of the birds are drawn in a way very cubistic. If you see here, you get a parrot, a flamingo, a toucan, an owl. They're all very cubist looking. It's called Q-Birds. They're very cute too. So, cards. See, cards. Length of play. Let me flip my book here and go to. It's like I told you, I'm flipping back and forth. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Parade is what was the lowest rank, or the highest rank. 1 being the highest rank there is. Parade was on Board Game Geek is 872, which is not bad, and yet you don't hear about it. I mean, 872 is a good number for BGG, but you don't hear about Parade that often. Anyway, Q-Birds is 1076. 1076. This adorable game. So the components, cards, length of play, approximately, well, the manufacturer says about 20 minutes. Maybe if someone's really lucky. I would say at least 30. And when you're learning it, or if you're new to it, I would say 30 to 45. Not 20. Not for everything that you need to do. So length of play, I would not go with the 20. I would say more, at least 30, and maybe even 45. It depends on how many people are playing, how many turns need to be made. It plays 2 to 5 players. Oh, I also forgot to tell you that about Parade. Parade plays 2 to 6 players, which is nice. Q-Birds plays 2 to 5 players, which is also good, because very often you'll have 5 or 6 players, and so many games are 2 to 4 players. But Q-Birds is 2 to 5. And okay, so that's CLU again. Exactly the same mechanisms, hand management and set collection, but a very different game. In this game, you're really trying to collect sets. And there will be a layout, columns and rows of available birds. And from your hand, you're going to take one and place it at the end or the beginning of a row, and it has to match another bird in that row. All the cards between the 2 matching birds you get to take. And then you smush together the line. If there's not enough on that line, you can add more from the card pile. And what you're trying to do, I'm talking about uniqueness and ease of play. Uniqueness, again, hand management, set collection. Ease of play. You're playing down a card, and you're picking up some cards. And then when you're trying to make either a small or a large group. A small group is 4, I'm pretty sure. And it's been a few months since I played this. I'm pretty sure yeah. Oh, it depends. Different birds, that's right. It depends on how many birds there are. Like the flamingo, a small group is 2, and a large group is 3, because there's very few flamingos. But the parrots, 4 is the small and 6 is the large. If you make a small group of any specific bird, you will lay them down and say, I have 3 flamingos. That's a large group. So I get to keep 2 of those, and 1 goes into the discard pile. And those 2 are the beginning of my end game collections. And you want to either have, like, I think it's 3 sets of 3 cards, different birds, or at least 1 of each of at least 5 birds. And so you're collecting small groups and large groups so that you can, if you have a small group, you get to keep 1 and discard the others. If you have a large group for that bird, you get to save 2 and discard the rest. So you're just creating collections of these really cute birds, and ultimately collecting cards of birds, collecting collections of birds, and that is Cute Birds. It sounds more complicated than it is. It really is not hard at all. You are laying down a card from your hand and taking up the cards in between it and its matching card in that row. That's it. And collecting. Ease to find and ease on your pocketbook. Why did I include this in this list? It's out of stock. Wherever I looked at miniaturemarket.com, I looked at GameNerds.com, I looked at Amazon. Those are the 3 go-to places when I go online, and none of them had it. It was out of stock. Now, miniaturemarket.com and GameNerds.com, when they have it, their price is around $11. So it's really an inexpensive game. When it's in full price, might only be $15. And so if you can, I put this in the list because if you come across it, you'll know what it's about. And you'll know that it's not the easiest thing to get a hold of, and you might want to get it right then and there, even if it is full market value, full retail, because it's not an easy one to find, but it is a really nice, yes, there's some thinking to do, but nothing heavy and nothing long. So that is number 4, Q-Birds. Number 3. It's a little bit of a morbid theme, but number 3 is it takes you to the French Revolution, and it's Guillotine. Guillotine came out this is the oldest one out of these 5, and this prize. This came out in 1998, and component-wise, it's cards, and it has a little cardboard thing. It takes about that much space inside the box, which is a picture of a guillotine. It can stand up, and it's basically shows the front of the line. And for components, cards and the guillotine, the cardboard standee. Length of play, about 30 minutes. And it's about 30 minutes. It really is not a long game either. With this, you want the most points. So, you are going for the higher cards. The premise, the uniqueness of this is I've never heard of another game where you have something to do with guillotines and the French Revolution. But guess what? The mechanics are hand management and collecting, set collections. But this one also has a take that aspect. So uniqueness, it's hand management and set collection, but it also has the opportunity of take that to someone else. Here's for ease of learn, teach, play. Um, okay, so the premise is you actually have a lineup of, I think, there's 3 rounds, and each round starts with 12 cards, and each card has picture of a drawing of a person, and depending on how rich or important they were to before, the French royalty and upper class and everything, they are worth points. I think Marie Antoinette is and Louis the 16th are worth 5 points, which is the highest, and others are 1 point, 2 point, or some are even negatives because oops, a martyr, we just killed the wrong person. Yeah, what you're trying to collect is you have your own guillotine, and you're trying to get important people off of this line so that you get the important people at your guillotine. Now, I will say, especially if you're playing with younger people, what I would suggest is saying that you are trying to get people off of the line to save them. Yeah, just save them from the guillotine. And that can change the whole feel of the game for younger audiences. But that's basically it. There are each card has some sort of manipulation it can do. Some of them will say move the third card to the front of the line, or move someone 3 spaces, or back 3 spaces, or put the first person to the back of the line, or vice versa, or whatever. So there's some mitigation. You can change the lineup before you have to take the first card. You have to always take the card closest to the guillotine. That just happens. You're trying to move things around so that the person in the front is worth the most money, the most points you can get. And that's the game. So it's really an easy game to learn, teach, play. How easy is it to find, and how easy is it on your pocketbook? Well, here we go. Flip the page again. Oh, by the way, let's see. It plays 2 to 5 players. Yeah. Okay, Guillotine. I found it on Amazon for $15, which I believe is close to retail. Game Nerds has it for $10.50. So, really, really a good price at Game Nerds. $10.50. Actually, I think it's $10.47, something like that, but $10.50. So if this at all interests you, great, cute cartoon drawings on the cards and everything. Again, play Guillotine. Again, what was the number of this one? It's number 1,370. But you don't hear about it much. I know it's an older game. I mean, it is 25 years old since it first came out. But it's still, I mean, I just discovered it a couple years ago. So I know that it's out there. It's very easy to get a hold of at a reasonable price. And yeah, there's some laughing that goes along, especially with that take that. You play a card and you put somebody near the front, and that's worth negative points, and the next person is going to have to take it unless they can change it. Guillotine. A little bit of take that. Number two is the largest box here, and it's Truffle Shuffle. Truffle Shuffle also has some, besides the cards for components, besides the cards, they do have little chipboard tokens, which you can actually hear when I move it around. Truffle Shuffle, let me pull up the information about it. It's get this, number 2,567. 2,567 on BGG. It plays 2 to 4 players. It is an open draft set collection game. There you go. You have these beautiful cards set out. You can see some of them, you can see all the information. Some of them you can just see what color they are on the other side. So there's a little bit of which one do I take? Which one do I choose? It's called open draft. You know, you get to choose which card you want, and then you're making sets. That's it. I mean, it's like, this is a pretty simple, basic game. Let me give you a little bit more information. It plays for length of play, 15 to 30 minutes. I'd say like 30 minutes. Upside down. I'd say about 30 minutes. I would not think it could be played in 15 because you have several rounds and you have to reset it up and everything between rounds. So I would not think that it would play in 15, but 30 makes some sense. Let's see. It came out in 2020, so it is a very recent game, 3 years ago. And let's see. Uniqueness, it's a card game. And actually the setup reminds me of Seven Wonders Duel. You have something similar in the setup for Seven Wonders Duel. So Truffle Shuffle has that in common with that game, which is over there somewhere, I think. Might be behind me, but anyway. When it comes to how easy is it to learn to each play, first of all, you pick a card and you make sets. So it's an easy game. You can get it on Amazon right now for $15. And on Game Nerds, surprisingly, it's $16. I believe the retail is $19 or $20. And so Game Nerds has it for $16, Amazon has it for $15. Incredibly great price for this game. Yeah, it's beautiful. If you like truffles, beautiful pastel colors. I think I've done a video on this one. I mean, I've done videos on a lot of these because these are games that I've had for a while, and I'm here like, why don't I hear about them more? And, you know, people just don't talk about these games as much. And then the last in this list, number one, number one is number 4082 on BGG. 4082. Plays 2 to 6 players, and it is called Enchanted Plumes. Enchanted Plumes is by Calliope Games. Calliope makes beautiful, beautiful artwork in their games. Tsuro is one of their games, and it's gorgeous. And the cards here, these Peacock Feathers, are beautiful. Even the box is gorgeous. So 4082. Why in the world is it that low? Okay, so get a clue. See components, cards. It's cards. Cards and instructions. There you have it. Length of play. The manufacturer says 20 to 40 minutes, and it really does depend on how many people are playing. 2 to 6, 20 to 40 minutes, depends on how well you know it, how many people are playing. It makes sense. It could be as short as 20 minutes. It might be as long as 40, but it's well worth that short amount of time. So that's length of play. Uniqueness. Guess what? It's open draft, picking a card from a bunch that you can see, set collection, and pattern building. That's the uniqueness of this one, is it includes pattern building. You are creating the tail of a peacock. You're going to make several peacock tails. Um, for ease of play, learn, teach, play. Okay, so basically, you're going to have a choice of like 4 cards, and you're going to pick one. You're going to have a hand of cards, and you're going to create, you're going to lay down the first line of feathers. In this case, they had a blue, golden, a red, and kind of like a yellowish white one here. Blue, there. Okay. Now that first row are negative points. So you want to try and get it with zeros and ones, and try and avoid as many twos, and definitely try not to put anything higher, because you're going to need to get the others to add up higher than the negatives that you're already getting. So, but here's the thing. Notice there's these 3 colors. They're 3 of the 4 colors up there. And this next level has to have 2 of these colors. So here we have the 2 colors. And then to finish off, the back side of this, because this is the actual, well, yeah, the front side of this. This is the back of all the cards. But you, to end a peacock, you turn over a card, and it's the head, and these are the tail. The other side of this has to be one of these 2 colors. You always are laying, each row following the first row has to be only colors found in the previous row, including the one that you turn over at the end, because when you start scoring at the end of the game, that actually counts as points. So it needs to match the rest of that peacock. So that's the game. That's how you play it. How easy is it to find, and how easy is it on your pocketbook? Okay, I found it on Amazon for $20, and I found it on Game Nerds for $14.50. So I believe 20 is the retail price, and so you can get it easily at Amazon for 20 or at Game Nerds for $14.50. Again, all of these games are not overly expensive. I mean, the most expensive is $16, and the cheapest is $10.50. So you can really get all of these for a reasonable price. I think I added them up, and it was $83 for five games. And even though they're all card games, they all play different. Even though most of them say hand management, set collection, or open drafting, or, you know, it's like, but they play differently. They look different, and yet they're all in the casual level. Now, I promised you a surprise, and I decided to do a CLUE about a game that I just received yesterday, and it is my first my first 2023 game. It's come out this year, and truthfully, it wasn't even on my 2023 wish list that I did a video of just a week or 2 ago. Let me force it open while I'm talking. I hadn't even heard of it until I was watching I watch so many board game videos on YouTube that I had never heard of it, and someone spoke about it, talked about it, and I was kind of like, oh my goodness, I know about that theme. I've never seen a game with that theme, and it's a simple card game. Okay, and so I went on Amazon, and Amazon had it, but Game Nerds and MiniatureMarket.com, they didn't have it. So I bought it. I ordered it from Amazon because it's so new. It hasn't even hit the other places still, apparently. I don't know if it's like the publisher is the ones selling it as of yesterday, last night, I checked and Amazon still had like 15 or 16 of them. It is called Broken and Beautiful. There you go. Broken and Beautiful. It's a small box, that deep. It plays 2 to 4 players. They say it's about 15 minutes. Again, I'd say 15 to 30 because they always, shorten the time a lot. And especially until you learn it really well and everyone knows it really well. It is the theme is, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce it right because I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a game about kintsugi or kintsugi. I don't know if it's a g or j sound. Kintsugi or kintsugi, which is the Japanese art of taking pottery, breaking it, and then using gold to repair it. And it is of more value as a broken and repaired piece of art than it was originally. So let's get a clue at it. Components, it has the instruction, and the instructions are one sheet folded up into 9 little sections. So it's that and that. Okay. So that's what's in there. And it also has these gold ingots. That's what they are in the game. I was reading the instructions and such. And so these represent gold because you need to get gold to fix your pottery. There will be, let's see, this plays 2 to 4. There are 4 player aids, 2-sided. The one side gives you a little bit of information about how, strategy and what you should be doing, and the other shows you the points for the different types of pottery. And so you have 4 player aids, and then you have a bunch of cards. Let me get rid of the player aids then. And these are, I haven't even shuffled these. Oh, I still have another player aid there. Okay. We got some that show gold, and then trays and teapots, and these beautiful vases, bowls, trays. It's like all kinds of different things. Yeah. Okay. But here's the thing. This is the one side. Then as part of the game, you break when you get this, you get certain points depending on what it is. Then you break it and it becomes worthless unless you repair it with gold. So you're collecting these for immediate points, then you're breaking them and they've lost value, but end game value comes if you have repaired it with gold. So you're going to be collecting these different cards, and again, here's another bowl. This is the one side, and then this is the broken and repaired side. Okay? You're going to be doing that for the most points, and that's why you need to also collect gold occasionally so that you have gold to fix your pottery. And those are the components. The length of play, like I said, they say 15 minutes, I say 15 to 30. Uniqueness, I have never seen anything of this theme. Yes, there are Japanese games, we know that. Yes, there are card games where you're collecting things and you're doing things with your collection and such. There are games where you collect items besides the cards. There, all of that is, there are other games that do it, but that theme is very different. And I don't know of another game where you get immediate points and then they're not worth anything unless you repair them, and then they're worth more at the end of the game. So yeah, so that's Uniqueness. Ease of play, I've basically told you what it is. Again, these are the instructions, and it's really not a lot of them. So I'm saying it's going to be pretty easy to get to play. And in fact, I'm going to... Oh, I brought up the Board Game Geek on my phone. Let me open it up to tell you what number it is right now. It's so new. It came out in 2023, just come out. It is number 10,035 on Board Game Geek, but it has a really decent approval rating of those who have already played it, whether it was this finished product or a prototype. It is just got, but it was number 10,035 on Board Game Geek's list. So there you have it. Broken and Beautiful. A very, very new card game. And if that theme catches your attention, there it is. I will say that when it comes to the ease on your pocketbook or easy to find, again, I found it at Amazon for $16. And that's probably its retail price because it's so new, but it's a reasonable one. So there you have it, a surprise new card game. Let's see how much traction it picks up. We'll find out in the next year or two. And so that's it. That's 5 underrated card games plus one very, very new one. Until next time, happy gaming and God bless you and your family. Bye.